I don't think you just pick the best right there. Alright,
Okay.
it's actually a good hero.
Yep, was a good pick by Ravens.
Yeah, there's a very
I
solid lane against Ember. I
Okay,
mean,
good
pretty bad
matchup in the
against.
mid
I think
lane.
Yeah, it's pretty bad against Hupter, but good against Ember.
hmm, I think Beast Coast should ban Void here. I feel like Void's quite scary against them. Or Ursa as well.
Yeah, this is great actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to play downbreaking against Ursa. Um, it's been Morphling.
Okay.
Okay.
Chaos Knight.
Chaos Knight. I honestly think they could have dealt with the Chaos Knight, but okay. Wraith King. Beast Coast could always pick
Wraith
Wraith
King.
King.
Yeah,
Ah,
does Beastcoast play Sven here? I mean,
Sven. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Sven's good as well.
yeah,
uh,
just love Sven here in this game. For Beastcoast, of course. And they ban Templar, which is pretty decent
okay.
hero against Sven.
Magic said about Wraith King, when you have K1 in your team, Wraith King is our is always an option, right? You have the best
Yeah.
Wraith King of the world, so you can't just not think about it. But Sven also is a good choice here.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's see the final
I
ban
feel like
for Ravens. They have a lot of reserve time yet. Bish Coast wastes a
yeah.
lot of their time, and Ravens has 1 minute and a half to think about it.
I
Still
think Beast
think,
Coast's draft is looking really good right now.
yeah, they have very, very good team fights. I mean, they missing tower damage though. Oh
Okay,
man, no more Sven.
okay. Think about another thing, Sherlock and Magic is Vans out.
Dude, do you have a plan B, Magic? I don't
Uh,
have a plan B.
do I have a plan B?
Okay,
Wraith King is plan
K1
A.
Wraith
I
King.
guess. I don't know. I, Juggernaut,
Oh,
First of all,
Void. Yeah.
first
Oh,
of
they
all. Oh, actually, Naga is good.
naming all the goes.
Naga now is actually pretty decent. I just love Naga against Faceless Void.
oh yeah, yeah. I thought about Naga, a lot of time ago, so I knew the answer for this draft.
5 seconds remaining.
I just love Naga against Faceless Void.
Naga, Terrorblade still in the pool.
Uh, okay, they have time to think. They have time to think. 1 minute
There's really not
remaining.
much left.
Yeah,
I
we
have
have a lot of
seen.
hard carrier bands here.
They have 40 seconds remaining, so they're fine. But I like the
They
idea
can,
of Naga because of the song. Just need to song and you can reset the team fight. They pick Ursa, as Magic
Ursa.
said, dude. Magic just owned the draft. But she said about the Ursa against the Downbreaker.
Do you guys think that Chronosphere is not a problem for Ursa? Is Ursa fine about it? It's okay. Just chill.
Yeah, just chill. I feel like if you're a Void, if the Ursa has used his ulti, then you can aim the Ursa. If he's not, you're probably not gonna kill him in your ulti duration, and then he's just gonna come out and use his ult. I would probably, I don't know. I think it depends a lot on ults here. If the Batrider's lassoed, if the Snapfire's ultied, if the Ursa's
Hmm.
used his ulti, you'd probably just go for whichever one hasn't used it. I don't think he can I don't think he can kill that Ursa in the whole chrono duration.
Okay. So now
But I
that the
do think
draft
Beast
is
Coast
done,
has a stronger team fight.
Okay, I would ask you just about this predictions for this game of number one.
Oh, Beast Coast. I
Yeah,
just
Beast
think,
Okay.
Coast.
yeah, I think their team fight's really strong. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I like the draft of Ravens, but Beast Coast, it is just Beast Coast, right? So I'm with that.
Okay, the favoritism. Okay, so it's the draft done. Let's go for the match. Otomo and Matthew's waiting for it. Good job, guys. We see after the game.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Into our last series of the day here. It is Beast Coast versus Ravens. And hey, Brood got through for this game number one, the draft here. So Ravens got to feel a little bit confident, right? And they also got the Bat Rider for the mid lane matchup. Seen a lot of SA specialty here coming through.
I mean, yeah, they got the Broodmother and they got the Bat Rider, like you said, but at the same time, you're also up against a Disruptor who can glimpse people back, no problem. And he's great for catching the Broodmother. You can Thunderstrike, then you can glimpse her anywhere. You have Dawnbreaker with her ultimate who can just show up on anyone that Broodmother tries to go for. I mean, I'll be frank, this is one of those times when I was like, I'm going to pick Beast Coast no matter what happens. They could pick the carry Ogre Magi and they've been like, yeah, it seems like the game for it. But overall, their draft is really good team fight, solid scaling, good tempo thanks to the Ember and the global presence of the Dawn. I don't think a Broodmother, meta as she is, can handle it. I just don't see it happening. But hey, we've had one upset today. Why can't we have another?
Amen. You got to look at it from Raven's perspective. You got to take one step at a time. All right. First, can I lane versus Beast Coast? Right. These are clearly talented players that you're going up against. You just got to take these small strides, And if you find yourself hitting a wall in game number one, fix what you're doing. Just like one thing at a time. You're never going to fix everything that you're doing versus Beast Coast. There's going to be a lot of things that they're going to make amazing plays, and you're going to have to try to react to it so much to try to fix it in one game. But I really want them to try to just snowball this down for them, make this a experience for you and your team. We're able to kind of look back and see what we can improve out of this. If not, I really want to see them take one game. Right? We saw last time EG dropped one game to KD Stars, and I want to see that out of this one too. Take a game. All right, that's your goal.
Yeah, but Beast Coast probably be like, we want to be undefeated until we play against EG, right? So maybe that's the record they want to go for. Maybe they don't only want to lose a game if it's sorry, they only will accept losing it against EG. Otherwise, they're like, nope, we're not gonna give any team an inch here. Top lane, it is going to be the Crystal Maiden and the Ursa. That's a pretty strong combination of heroes, especially when the Crystal Maiden hits level 2, you get both your spells. Ursa, he's not going for any sort of Orb of Venom for more harass, but it's still a very powerful duo just if they can get on top of someone. So Dawnbreaker and Rubik is decent, but we'll see if Ravens can actually get a few kills. I'd favor, like, if there was I didn't know which team is playing, I'd be like, oh, the stronger matchup is the Ursa and Crystal Maiden, but, it is Beast Coast against Ravens.
No, absolutely. I think Magic was the one who caught it. It looks like a fantastic Ursa game. I do like it. Honestly, the unsung hero, maybe after 3 or 4 items. Aghanim Scepter could be pretty good this game, popping that in Rage for the Chronosphere. They did get, like a Static Storm with the Faceless Void, but honestly, that's not like a ton of damage, right? It's a lot of lockdown that you have, but you don't have a ton of damage in the Chronosphere very early on. So there is definitely a scaling potential, as you said. I like this draft. I think Ravens, you don't have to worry about the draft. I think this is really good for yourself. You have this weird, like, I'm a Bat Rider, I'm going to lasso someone, and then there's going to be a Solar Guardian coming in. So like that's not fantastic, but I still think the lane should be pretty good for you. A little bit under the CS, but I'm sure that will kind of come back towards the Bat Rider. And really nice pickup, I think, right? Like you're able to latch onto the Faceless Void, hopefully take him down before you can get the Time Walk off. So I really like the idea of the draft.
Yeah, the thing is, you talked about lack of damage to Chronosphere, but you still have Sleight of Fist and the Solar Guardians on top of it. So I don't think it's that bad. Like, I've seen worse, where it's like the only damage you have is like Silencer, Arcane Curse. And you're like, all right, guys, we got the Silencer, and we got Rubik with the Fade Bolt, and then the rest of the it's like the other 3 melee heroes. Although, good start.
Here we go. This is where it starts. All right, game 1 to Ravens. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I like how this Mars just trading hits with the Faceless Void, like, okay, I'll be fine. And Schofield's also taking a few hits here. Denies his, it's a sentry, man. He's like, no, even those. I'm not gonna give you any. I won't even give you CS that's meaningless. That's still mine.
Not a free step. And honestly, this Bat Rider mid lane matchup, I thought that this was going to be a lot better, but 16 CS already for Dark Mago. Usually the Bat Rider aficionado himself, instead playing against the show, sure knows a lot of the ins and outs of that matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And
I mean,
okay,
there
never
you go.
mind. I said it,
Yeah,
and
you gotta
immediately
say it.
he gets stove. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm
Oh,
Mago,
well
my bad, man.
You had to do it, right? You had to just give him
I
like
know.
a bit of a kick right there. He's like, he's doing
Mhm.
really well on the Ember Spirit. I feel like this has been almost the theme of the cast so far. Every time we say something's doing well,
Yes.
and oh, look at that, he denies it again. Schofield, what's wrong with you? He just denies another sentry ward in the top lane.
Nice. Nothing for free. Absolutely nothing for free. And well, speaking of a little bit free right now, bot lane, really rough CS. Honestly, both that we're looking at here, both K1 and Benjaz having a little bit of a hard time CS. Oh, K1 immediately dead, and now top also hammer throw, lift back into the Starbreaker. Gara maybe in a bit of danger, throws down the Crystal Nova. Okay, yeah, maybe a bit of damage here. Now Schofield, is there a return kill? Is dad? Yeah, gotta back out.
You know, I swear I was thinking in my head that Faceless Void can't be killed right before he died. I was like, oh, Faceless Void. So now we're cursing people with our brains. You know, I was like, K1, there's no way. He's up against a Broodmother. He can just time walk. But this Mar, oh, look at that. Stinger's gonna be taking a few hits. This Mar should be fine. He has a magic stick anyway with 9 charges. So Ravens.
Doing well. Look at this.
Tough.
No
Doing
way.
good.
Okay, maybe a bit of a blunder on the W there, the flame break from the Bat Rider. Honestly, I think could have had the kill on Dark Mago, but instead, yeah, it is a rotation in from Schofield. That's not free at all. Does kind of free up the top side though a little bit more for the Ursa to get the CS without a Rubik standing in the lane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but PP really missed that one, didn't he? I mean, it's not like he was, you know, like it's a pretty generous AOE, and I don't know, he missed it by a mile. Let's just go with that, and that's constant because barely was Dark Moon made out like with the skin of his teeth, so that he can't really afford to make those mistakes. And all right, thanks a lot, PP. You screwed up again. It's gonna put them in a bit of an issue.
It's a skill shot. Yeah, it's a skill shot. Flame break.
It is a skill shot. It's a skill. And he didn't get a solo kill, so it's actually that's no big deal. Yeah, but you gotta give the viewers what they want. Schofield is taking a bit of damage here.
Yeah. Oh, so here comes a Dawnbreaker, and yeah, Schofield baiting that one to perfection. And well, Dark Mago again already low in the mid lane. Now does have level 6 here, trying to go for the haste, but the lasso, they're making sure that this is a Bat Rider rune, and even Stainer not able to get close enough. That cookie well placed from Dismar, and he's just gonna sit here and make sure that Pippi gets that kill. Wow, Ravens, I tell you what, this is some really crisp gameplay coming out here in the first few minutes of this first game of the series.
And that's the kind of player PP is. The more you play him, the better you play. So I was doing him a favor just now. And but Dad, he's lost a lot of health and he needs to go back and care out. One Starbreaker might cost him his life.
Oh yeah, and now
who's here?
that gotta try to run away from the Ember, but Dark Mago gonna come through, get the kill, very easy, and even was that a bat? Wait, I feel like I saw a Bat Rider there. I did see a Bat Rider there. Yeah, glimpsed back from the haste rune. So Pepe almost making it happen. Now this is 3 heroes in your mid lane. Gotta be a bit careful on the Bat Rider. We'll get changed up here, and Stainer may try to bring him back, yeah, with the glimpse. But Dismar is in, and it looks like they're gonna turn this one back around onto the Disruptor. So Cookie in, and that Thunderstrike is not enough to take now. Gotta be careful though. Those slights may hurt. Walks too close there on the Bat Rider.
And the whole time, by the way, Benjaz on the bottom lane just gets the tier 1 right now. Has the Orb of Corrosion, which helps him push a little bit faster. So Ravens, 1,000 gold lead, 7.5 minutes in, looking pretty solid. Dad, he's gonna go for this kill. Walks next to a ward. That's gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt a lot. That goes down. Now here's a question. Do I need to be calling him Daddy? I feel like my wife may have some issue here if I'm calling someone daddy like very often into my mic whenever I'm casting this game.
Listen, man, what you guys do in the privacy of your own home, we don't need to know about that. All right, you keep that to yourself. Chat doesn't need to know that, but you can message me privately about what goes on. I'm weird that way, but in the meantime, let's watch some Dota and let's praise Benjaz for a bit. He hasn't died, so let's curse that guy a little bit.
That's true. Yeah,
he's doing really well. He's doing really well.
Benjaz is so good
right now, and
no, mid lane, bring it in with the lasso. Woo.
I love the pace that they're setting here. I absolutely love the pace that Raven's setting here. I think they recognize that, Beast Coast, they're a strong team, and they want to play this fast pace so that they're on the back foot. And goes back to, I think, what Magic said, which is that you take strong lanes, win the early game, and then you have more options in the mid game. So I love it. The Ravens, they're doing exactly what they need to do. I don't know if it's enough to win the game though. I'm still riding Beast. I'm still on the Beast Coast copium right now.
Of course. It's not that big of a net worth lead, right? 9 minutes in, less than 1K. We're seeing pretty much even. The Broodmother does have some good net worth. And, Chronosphere on the Snapfire. K1 making sure that these supports go down. Kara even going to get frostbit by her own spell. Unfortunate. Oh, my lord. That was one slight that they took down that Kara from like 25% HP, I think.
And I wonder, do you think that K1's going to go for Hand of Mice? From what I know, he's a pretty greedy kind of carry, the one of those guys who's always like, I'm gonna farm, I want more gold. So when I see a Hand of Mice on him, I'm like, yeah, he's probably going for it,
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's not a terrible game, I suppose. It seems like you're still getting those kills with the Chrono. They're gonna get the Frostbite on Faceless Void. It's Counterblast as well, need a little bit more damage, but they do get the Time Walk through, and K1 is getting burned down by the Bat Rider here. Flame Break will connect this time. Another Time Walk available up in 4 seconds. Now, they don't have ulti on the Bat Rider right now, and yeah, it looks like Faceless Void may actually get away from this one.
We decided not. We were like, why would we show you guys the action? We can show you Stinger's amazing. Oh, there we go. Looks like Darkmar wants to start the fight.
Oh yeah, this one probably is actually killed though. They're gonna drag back the Bat Rider, and yeah, Ursa coming on in. Stinger maybe in a bit of danger, but Sacred with the Solar Guardian saving the Disruptor, and now with the Mortimer's Kisses, they'll get some revenge, but Pepe's already gone, and they even take down Dismar, so it's gonna be a 1-for-2 trade, and another one, the CM going down as well. Oh boy, yeah, Dark Mago really starting to feel strong. Now, that is happening bot side. Benjaz is pushing. It's the right thing to do, right? Like, this Broodmother needs to just be punishing this bottom lane. Maybe a bit of a mistake to not take that tower near a tower for Ravens.
Unfortunately for the bottom tier 2 has taken about a third of its health and damage, so that's kind of nice, but it does feel like, we need Benjaz to really do everything he can to bring down these towers, because otherwise you're in trouble. It's like you're this early game draft, you did okay in the lane stage, but might be starting to run out of steam. Benjaz?
That's a lot of spiders down already. Trying to pop the hunger, but can't even get the lifesteal. So Dark Mago, another kill, dominating streak already for the Ember Spirit.
This is one of those situations where you're like, all right, Ravens, you had a good 10 minutes. Is it over now? Is that it? Is that all we're gonna get? Hopefully not.
I don't know.
Well, no, it's hopefully not, because Ravens, they do need to do these pickoffs. They need to play with PP with the Bat Rider, get those pickoffs with him and the supports while Benjaz pushes bottom lane. It's still scary because late game you still have Chronosphere, Solar Guardian, and Static Storm to deal with, whereas you have nothing on Ravens that compares in that team fight category.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing this as, from my checklist, right? They did well in the lane stage. I think they genuinely did very good.
Yes.
So I would be proud of myself right now. Break down what happened in this mid game, all right? Seeing a few fights topside, fighting into Dark Mago, where he's just like, sliding everybody and taking kills. You have the Guardians or Solar Guardian come through in the river. Another fight that didn't really see like it was that favored for you. And honestly, I almost think they need to really wait for just Lasso. Like, if Lasso isn't up, maybe you don't try to go for any of these fights. And now this base defense, even a little bit harder. They do have a Broodmother, not one of your typical tower defense heroes. So they are going to use the Lasso on the Rubik, make sure it doesn't get stolen out at all. But with the Solar Guardian, they still save Schofield just for a second. They will burn down eventually to the Bat Rider. So 1-for-1 trade, but that is your +4 for a mid laner. You'll take that any day of the week here from Beast Coast.
And Lasso was used as well, and this Dude, the Glimpse was able to also break the lasso and make sure that he's in the Solar Guardian. So it's a great comment. Like the Disruptor has been popping off in this region. You know, we saw him in the second series. Benjaz, he might be popped like a like an insect. He's gonna be squashed right now. He's not making that. No way.
Oh yeah, he's got the kinetic field. Again, yeah, you're right. This Disruptor. Glimpse is very, very powerful versus a Broodmother. Doesn't matter how far you scurry away from those webs. Static Storm, kinetic field already good. Honestly, Glimpse and a kinetic field is already really nice because part of the reason that the Brood feels unkillable sometimes is just you get into the webs, you can't find her. You need a lot of vision in order to get a kill. But this is already enough.
Yeah, it's like that's a nice thing about Broodmother. Oh look, they fixed the heal for I just saw the green pop of the heal for Dawnbreaker.
For the
They fixed
Dawnbreaker?
it. That's good. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing about Broodmother, right? You can always just walk into the forest and no one can follow you. Heroes like Spirit Breaker, Bounty Hunter, Disruptor can deal with that, but none of them are in the meta. But all those heroes that can be, it's easiest to fit in the Disruptor, right? You put them as a position 5, you get that vision, you have a great teamfight ultimate, whereas Bounty Hunter and Spirit Breaker, a little harder to put into position 4 if you're not, the hero's not doing so well.
Yeah. Absolutely. And thankfully, I mean, I think the Beast Coast is going to be getting a lot of gold in this one continuing, so both supports are going to feel like a little bit of a pause for, especially, man, look at this Rubik, already at 4,000 net worth. Honestly getting very, very close to the Earth's hour. Oh, okay. If you guys weren't watching it, that very exact moment, may not have seen that. There was a Crystal Maiden sitting there. She was there. And well, they've used the Static Storm, Starbreaker. Okay, there's another. The DD on Dark Mago, like, this is a rough time to get caught out there, man. He's doing so much damage with those lights.
I love how Schofield's chasing away the Ursa. He's like, I'll chase you past the tier 2. It's a Rubik chasing an Ursa away. That does not happen very often. And my god, though, Ursa is really struggling right now. He's not far from the Battle Fury. It's just like his strength compared to everyone else is so limited. Benjaz also, Broodmother's great to have the net worth on, but the hero's job is just mostly to push. It doesn't bring you that much in a fight. What a glimpse.
Yeah, nice job. Dismar, nice counterblast, but that surely won't be enough to save you. Even use a Chronosphere on the backside, but okay, one. I chronoed him and went, hey, there's a Bat Rider over there. Maybe I don't want to commit to this one, so I definitely cutted out a few spells. That's not the Chronosphere you want to use from K1, but oh, what a glimpse. Sent back way into the forest again is the spider. Benjaz with the Thunderstrike right on top. They will find and kill that spider, so 2 gone here. Beast Coast, even with kind of a mangled Chronosphere, still getting 2 kills out of it.
Radiant are scanning.
I'm trying to think of something positive, like something that Ravens has going for them right now. The Battle Fury is on the way to the Ursa. He has it just now, actually, so that's going to accelerate his farm, but yeah, that's a positive, right?
That is positive. The obvious, the obvious thing to say is still that, like, the reason that, like, even Monkey Kings, I feel like sometimes in pubs, I've seen them go into the safe lane, they win their lane, and then they're able to have that really early Battle Fury. Ursa, technically, that's why you want to do the same thing here. You want to have that, like, early timing on it because you were able to dominate your lane. Right now, Faceless Void also went for the Midas, so it's going to look bad. That net worth is continually going to look bad. He went Midas Maelstrom, right? Like, this is a farming Faceless Void, hoping for damage from everybody else on the team. So Don, he's gotta kind of stay up top here, and look at this coming right at him. They've got the Faceless Void, they've got the Rubik, and this is gonna be really hard, honestly, for the Ursa to escape. We'll get the Dispel, so no more time dilation, but that cookie's stolen from Schofield, trying to catch down the Ursa and lift on backwards, and this is one of those long, painful deaths. Eventually, Dark Mago is gonna come in, swoop in, and get the kill.
Surprisingly, no one wanted to bother even help him. I know there's no tier 1 in the area, but he was around, he was running for his life for a while, the poor guy. There is a Boots of Travel on PP as well, so yeah, I guess they were okay with the Ursa making space, The Ursa's like, alright guys, I'll make space, and hopefully everyone else can get some farm. Ravens, one thing they do have for them...
No. Alright, one thing
they have, they have Bat Rider.
Bat Rider. No, that's gone. Kara, very squishy on that support Crystal Maiden. And I tell you what, Dark Mago has been feeling it on the Ember here. Now again, like we said, I like the draft that they're going for with Raven. The holes are starting to get poked, all right? Maybe that Crystal Maiden a bit too soft. Maybe they needed something a bit thicker on that support life. It should have been a strong lane, but because they didn't accelerate the lane as much, right? Like, they did fine, but yeah, no, Benjad's getting himself a kill here. I like how he's staying in the bot side of the map, right? Like, he's not getting sucked up into these fights. It's very easy, more in the pub environment, but it's still very easy here to be like, my team's dying top, I want to help them out, but still, dragging people bottom, even if they don't, they will still get this kill on the Rubik. And now they can maybe turn this around. No, change through from the Ember Spirit. So Benjaz wants to keep pushing forward. Dark Mago and Sacred should be able to just back out with this one and maybe wait for some TPs from the rest of their team. But Lasso available. They're gonna get the double change through. BKB popped here, very close, and the Ursa is able to sit and hit. Dark Mago, the 7 kill streak going to the Ursa, and look at the net worth jump. Hey, we're getting back in it.
Yeah. Because you know we were starting to call it off a little bit. Benjaz taking out both supports. Disruptor's not so strong when he's got a billion people in his face eating his face off. So that was really well played by Benjaz, and they were able to get a kill on the Rubik. And unfortunately for Beast Coast, they were just not ready for that fight. Love the Snapfire, like the more kisses coming out of nowhere. So Ravens, they got some fight left in them, especially thanks to the Ursa getting that kill. You might have to consider getting an Aghanim Scepter, which is very awkward to do on Ursa, but it's the perfect counter to the Chrono. You walk in, you get Chrono, you don't care.
I love the Aghanim Scepter. I'm not going to say it's an underrated item because, you know, Blink, BKB, and Basher are still really, really good. But yes. I do think it's a fantastic, like, 4th, 5th item. I truly believe that you get towards that unkillable status on the Ursa, and hey, if you can't be a Wraith King with 2 lives, might as well be unkillable with 1, as I'm about that versus the Faceless Void.
Actually, that's another point I want to go back, is that for at least Ravens, one thing they do have an advantage of is they have the roast potential. You know, if they could get a decent fight in one side of the map, a couple of people are dead, you smoke, you take Roshan 15 seconds with the Ursa, like that is another really good thing for them. That he just steals it right at his nose.
It's candy from a baby. So unfortunate to watch that go down.
It's so cheeky, you know. It's like, you wanted it? Nope, it's mine. But yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. That's what I think Ravens can do. It's like you do have the Roshan potential. You have to win a fight, which is always the hardest part. But if you do, there are options available for you. Maybe just
they've shown. Yeah, no, they have the opportunity, right? They are able to lasso up one of these heroes. Clearly, Ursa does the damage right now. So I like it. If they're able to get that lasso, I think Ember's a really good one, honestly. I think Faceless Void hasn't gotten to that like solo carry potential, right? Dark Mago clearly is going to be a priority for this entire game, but for right now, I'm so good with lassoing him and making sure that Ursa is just taking him down. He's such a slippery hero too, right? Your team kind of struggling to lock him down if it's not with lasso right now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's the Faceless Void or the Ember Spirit. You get rid of one, the other one feels heavily neutered. I'd still prefer to take out the Faceless Void, honestly, just because I think the Chronosphere with Solar and Static Storm is too dangerous to deal with as possible.
I see. No, I can totally see that. They're going to smoke up here. So Roshan about quarter HP and dwindling soon. And it seems that Ravens, they just don't know that it's happening. And you know, like the Ursa lineup, that's what you want. You want that Aegis every single time, especially versus the Faceless Void. It seems like that perfect one for you. But Beast Coast has done a really good job of controlling this top side of the map. And even though they've lost that tier 2 bottom, they just don't care. They're willing to forfeit the entire bottom of the map because all that needs to happen for them is to keep the Aegis out of the hands of Ursa and allow K1 to thrive in the environment that you're creating for him.
And Dark Mago has the, and Dark Mago's got the Aegis, which is, I was thinking like, alright, you know, if K1 gets it, like they don't want to give it to K1 because he already got, BKB has got the time mark, so it's basically almost, it's pretty hard to kill as this, but they're like, oh, maybe Dark Mago would be opening. They're like, no, we're just going to make sure that Dark Mago is unkillable as well. Now we have real problems. 2 BKBs are up. Dawnbreaker, I want to mention this a while ago. She's got the Solar Guardian, so when she shows, sorry, she's got the Guardian Greaves. Two Guardians. See, I can't, you know, it's too hard to keep.
Oh no.
So when she shows up, it's a lot of heals.
Yeah, and that purge is nice as well. It's probably gonna get supposed to get frostbitten whenever you land down there, and hopefully some Mortimer's Kisses fall as well. But yeah, just very, very hard to kill anyone. We got a 6,000 net worth lead. Honestly, 22,000 minutes. This is surmountable. But team fighting is hard with the Broodmother, so they're gonna smoke up this 4. leave the Brood alone in it right now. They'll show on the mid wave, and Dark Mago is with the Aegis. It's just he's so strong. What position? Knowing that, like, even if you do try to kill me once, you need to get on top of K1 first. That is your only target now.
Oh,
they jump
here we
through,
go.
get the lasso on the Faceless Void, and no
Well played.
amount of Solar Guardian can save you from that one. Ursa's able to get the kill. Static Storm down, though, and there's no BKB from the Ursa to take this one. They will kill Sacred on arrival here for Dark Mago. You haven't been able to deal with him just yet. Benja's trying to go up on this one, but look at the slice. Turning back onto the Ursa. Dark Mago wants to do this one by himself. He'll take the first life for the Ember, but you already lost your Ursa. Batrider trying to encroach onto this one. It is 3v3 right now, so it feels like you have a chance. Cookie, they take down Dark Mago. 3 down plus the Aegis, and you only lost yourself an Ursa and a Crystal Maiden. Sad that Ursa won't get into on that XP at the end, but fantastic fight from Raven. That's big signs of life.
Dude, they got all the cores, and one of them twice. And even though Ursa did die, he was still available for a big chunk of that experience. Like, the heals coming out just not enough. That's the thing about Solid Guardian. It takes a while to land. You would almost prefer just going there and using the Guardian Greaves for the heal. But either way, from the start, you lose 2 of your big cores. Dark Mago is able to stay alive for a little while longer, but the supports are forced to go back. Ravens, very happy. What a hold. And you gotta start thinking, because is Beast Coast, are they showing them the respect that they deserve? Because Ravens, it took them 3 tries to climb out of Division 2 to Division 1, but that means that they've been together for a long time, they've been practicing, they've been grinding, and there's still a squad that's very scary. Putting in the Faceless Boy in that situation, that was a little disrespectful, you know?
I think I would agree, yeah. I think it's a little bit of overconfidence from K1. Knowing that you're going to do that immediate play where you sit both heroes right in front of the tower, you need to have given that Roshan Aegis over to the Faceless Void, right? Ember thrives on making those poke plays in and out, in and out, in and out. If very hard, honestly, to lasso if he's playing that one correctly. Now, Faceless Void is going to be the one that's like starting hitting those towers. It makes sense why he's going to be the one that's caught first. And speaking of caught out here, Static Storm does go down, and Ursa doesn't really care that much about it. And Rage was popped, maybe needs to back away from this one, but they'll find only 1 pick on the pause 5. Maybe wanted a bit more from Ravens, but it does still put you at a numbers advantage for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, and they are also being cautious on Ravens. You know, as long as Chronosphere is available, Faceless Void will remain the biggest target, and you have to make sure that you keep tabs on. If you don't know where he is, you play safe. So they got a nice kill on Disruptor, then they're like, all right, well, we don't have to go for more. That's good enough for us. And look at that, realizing that Lasso is pretty much the only BKB piercing ability the enemy has. He decides to go for Lincoln Sphere on the Faceless Void. So now you have to get what? A Frostbite? I think that's about. It's Frostbite and Lasso. Is there anything else that breaks BKB? I don't think so.
I think that's it. Yeah,
right,
it's a pretty nice Lincoln game. Oh, you know what? You're right. And technically, this spawns Spiderlings as well, right?
Oh yeah, damn it, Broodmother. Forgot your abilities are like that. Alright, so I was blind to Broodmother, but still.
Well, poor old Snapfire. 3 kill streak actually from killing Dismar, so all of a sudden right back on top. 4,000 net worth lead here for Beast Coast. They're going to give it another attempt here at this tier 2 tower.
And this time, well, K1 he's a little bit more careful, you know. It's like they're making sure they have some vision. They're taking away the enemy's vision at least. They're not going too crazy on it. Sacred's also there with the Guardian Greaves and the Wraith Pack. This item has not aged well, but in this game against the Ursa, I guess he thinks it's still worth it. I don't know. Not sure how I feel about this Wraith Pack, because I guess apart from the Ursa, no one really does right-click on Raven's side, but Ursa could just like take it down in half a second with one overpower.
Yeah, I guess the Cobus are like, he's using it on my Wraith Pack, he's not using it on my heroes. Yeah, maybe a little bit happy with that one. Plus, it is kind of Ursa damage, right? Like they're lassoing and they're setting the Ursa right on top in order to do it. So if they don't have that, maybe they're able to save the Faceless Void through that entire burst. But yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. Maybe it's not like the item, but I look at this lineup. Do I want pipe? Do I actually want that item? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right. It's like there's not much that you're like. There's problems all around, right? So whether you get a Wraith Pack, whether you get a Guardian Greaves, whether you get a pipe, there's all sorts of damage coming out. Surprised Raven did not deward the ward that's next to their 2-1 bottom. because I think we saw a spell steal while the Broodmother, someone was on high ground and Scorpion was on low ground. He still used the spell steal, but looks like they didn't realize that he shouldn't have vision in that situation.
Yeah. Honestly, two very nice wards on the spot side as well. Like walking up that high ground, even next to the tier 3. Usually that's one where it's very hard to see when that gets placed. The ones on the left side a little bit easier, but not the ones that's like all the way over to the right. Like those ones that in between the towers usually get dewarded, not that one.
I feel like he got rid of a tree or two, because like I said, like you're saying, it looks a little bit more clear than usual, the ward on the right. But anyway, look at that, that pays
Lord,
off!
they use the Chrono, and they just find the Batrider, and in with the Solar Guardian. Even the Static, just in case anyone else came through, the Static Storm was down, but Ursa, and on the basis point here, able to time walk away with the BKB. Dark Mago, yeah, got a lot of damage, trying to go back onto the Crystal Maiden here. BKB is worn out, but they're going to lift back the Spider, and Benjaz just trying to survive at this point. A lot of damage coming through from Beast Coast. Already lost the Batrider. Oh no, the Mortimers from downtown! Can they kill Sacred on this one? Throwing the hammer away, and the Mortimers just barely short. So Dawnbreaker will live, and kind of a fruitless attempt there, trying to turn that one back around from Ravens. And boy, Batrider just eliminated at the start.
I think they pinged out the ward. They're like, there's something here, but so far still standing, you know. Overall, though, to be fair, that was Chronos, Static Storm, and Solar Guardian used just to bring out Benja, so it's not the biggest deal. They didn't lose any, like, their tier 3s are still staying. It's not too bad for them. And it looks like Bruno is also going for Wraith Pack. So Wraith Pack on Wraith Pack action. What is this? A patch ago?
I guess same thing. You're trying to cope it up right now. Like my Ember and my Faceless Void are doing physical damage. The bashes are still magical from K1, but I guess they are facing mostly physical right now. Could be nice to protect those spiders, because that's really like you're not killing those spiders with magical typically. So if they do have the Wraith Pack, maybe these spiders live for a little bit longer on Benjaz.
Well, it's a nice thing about the Spiderlings that you can send them all over the map and each one gives you vision here, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see whether this Wraith Pack, if it's gonna be enough for Ravens here. And I'm feeling that Beast Ghost, they smoke up with 4. There is no Faceless Void. This could be an opening for them.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, they got the Static Storm. They're able to pop the BKB though. Maybe able to turn this one back around. They glimpsed back the Broodmother as well, but there it is, Lasso on the Dawnbreaker. But that means that Dark Mago is free to reign, and well, he'll take this one with pride. They do jump in though with the Basher. Maybe they've taken down the Ember Spirit. They do, and with coming in on the Dawnbreaker, it's just too late. Now K1 trying to turn back around on the Ursa. BKB about to wear out for him, and well, they're just trying to stay alive. He doesn't feel like he can take the 1v1 onto the Faceless Void, so gonna get cooking out, and meanwhile the rest of his team is just falling as they try to evacuate Ursa. So 4 will fall from Ravens. They did take down 2, Dark Mago and Sacred, and force the buybacks, but they know that this next Roshan is just way too important to possibly get to the hands of Raven.
Lucky for them though, like the Roshan is it's a minute, so Ravens, they will be able to muster up their forces in time to take that fight, and there's 2 buybacks on the cores. So if those buybacks weren't available, Ravens could have been in a much better spot. Chronos wasn't around, so that might have been why Beast Coast Beast Coast could have won that fight a little bit harder. Overall, though, Ravens, that was, I mean, a decent-ish fight. You know, decent-ish, I'll say.
I'd give it decent-ish for sure. I mean, you were able to kill 2 very important heroes, right? The Ember Spirit and the Dawnbreaker, and force them to buy back, right? And unfortunately, those are the 2 like most mobile heroes on the team, right? Dawnbreaker able to just ulti in. Ember, I'm sure, just had a remnant laying around somewhere that he could just come back to as well. So literally having to kill those 2 heroes twice, and arguably the Dawnbreaker is stronger on the second approach. So it's hard. Yeah, it's really hard to take a fight like that.
The nice thing about those global heroes, the buybacks are so much better for them, like Spectre, Dawnbreaker, Nature's Prophet. These guys can buy back, and it's just better for them. And Roche is available. Ravens, they smoked up. They don't have vision of the area though, and yeah, I think they might. Beast Coast might know that there's spiders just spawning out of nowhere right now. but not.
And they break the smoke, jump through, and oh no! They do pop the Lincolns, but they only use the lasso on Sacred, and Eondis out of nowhere. Where'd that come from? They use the Chronosphere on the Ursa, bashing him around here. Ursa, is he gonna be able to turn around on this one? Not gonna be BKB off, but the lasso stolen from the Rubik. How are you allowed to get that? That will still go down. A good attempt, honestly, from Ravens, but that stolen lasso is generally turning this fight back around into Beast Coast. Benjad's trying to take down Stainer as well. These supports so slippery for the Spider, and Stainer will stand and watch as Dark Mago finishes off that kill. 4 go down, and well, Beast Coast, they only lose the Dawn and the Rubik.
I'm not sure if I think he used the Psychic Headband or the Force Staff when he blinked in on the Bad Rider, because I was like, oh, he wasted the last night. Look at this tiny blue, green Dawn. I was like, no, he still has it. And then he brings down the Dawnbreaker, which is really good. Unfortunately, Dawnbreaker had, they still died in the end, but took longer than they needed to. So decent Static Storm and Chronosphere dad was controlled. Schofield, fantastic lasso. Not sure how you can give that if you're a Bat Rider. You do have the sticky napalms you can throw out, but in the end, Beast Coast still comes out on top. Barely though, not by much, but again, another decentish fight for Ravens. It's going to just be a little bit better.
I feel like, honestly, if that lasso isn't stolen, your Ursa's allowed to play the game after the Chronosphere. I don't know. I feel like that one could be a turnaround again. If you look at his items here, he's got himself a Basher already that's like usually getting the chain lockdown. He's got the BKB. He's got the lifesteal on the Broodmother that was right beside him. So like, there are ways to play that fight if you don't just get lassoed immediately after the Chronosphere is done. I don't know. They're close. They're getting so close on Ravens. That one cuss, that last thing they need to do to get these fight wins.
I know. I mean, it's weird that we're saying that when they're like 15,000 gold behind against an Aegis. It's like,
yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like the Ursa's one of those heroes that even when you're behind in net worth, you can still dish out a ton of damage. So you do have that option. The problem is that their team fight's still lacking, and you're up against Chronosphere and Solar Guardian. I believe. What does the win percentage tell us actually? Let's see what the AI says. And 4%. That seems harsh.
That's a lot. I don't know. 14,000 net worth lead, 35 minutes. I don't know. I feel like this is reserved for your 20 and above.
I mean, that AI is almost as mean as our panel. That's how they are.
Yeah, it's a rough one. Looking at this game, you really just want to see the small steps from Raven. You want to see them make these improvements day in, day out. I mean, we even had we had some winless teams in NA get a first win yesterday. So everybody's getting some good stuff, it seems, as of recent. I want to see Ravens perform here. The jump through, feel like a K1, able to just dive in, get the time dilation back out, just be continually annoying because really spell spam is the only thing that can help you defend this high ground. But Faceless Void, just no shame, has the Aegis for another 3 minutes. Doesn't seem like a great contest, honestly, from Ravens. They've sent someone bottom. I believe that is the Ursa, farming out through the entire bot wave.
What's he close to exactly? I don't know if he's close to anything really that he needs. He does finish the MKB, that was his last item. But, I mean, they're sacrificing the racks for an MKB on the Ursa. We'll find out if it's worth it or not, but he does need it. There's a butterfly on the Faceless Void, so he has to get it. It's just tough, right? It's tough no matter what you do. Do you defend with against an item when you're countered by an item, or do you push out and throw a racks?
Yeah, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Very hard to play this game right now from Ravens, and it's gonna start with them likely getting a pick on the Ember Spirit because you can't start on the Faceless Void. I like what they're doing now on Beast Coast, not making the mistake they made bottom. They will try to just send K1 forward, and now Kara may be in a bit of danger. They can definitely poke this Crystal Maiden down. The BKB already popped, so they can get the first life of the Faceless Void. But as he responds, there's going to be a BKB. There's going to be a Chronosphere. Can you lock him down? And the answer, maybe yes, actually. Lifted up and backwards from the Rubik, and there's the Chrono. It's on to two, one of which being the Ursa, and they even try to Snapfire back into it. No one gets to escape on this one. They'll buy back on the Snapfire, but she's the only one who has it. K1 and Schofield making it work here on the high ground for Beast Coast. And well, without your Ursa in the game, I struggle to see how you can make any more defense here from Team Ravens.
Very valiant effort, man. They were able to get on top of him. Oh, that's a big Solar Guardian. That's a big one right there. This level, I think, to go
Oh,
20
yeah.
talent. It looks like Dark Mago. He's wants more blood. You know. PP is
Never stops.
So I was like, this doesn't. Poor
Oh,
guys.
they're just calling it, yeah.
There goes.
Game 1 going the way of Beast Coast. Definitely the expected outcome. And, you know, to send us over, I like what we saw in the laning stage. I like what we saw in the draft. I think the only thing that was, again, really a poke there was like this Crystal Maiden is, whenever they jump on the enemy lineup, I don't know if you can play CM. There's kind of just food for the Ember Spirit. Dark Mago completely shredding that Crystal Maiden. I like your mid lane matchup, right? The Batrider did well. There are glimmers of hope for this Ravens team, and many fights, even when they were down in net, where it seemed like just that one last thing that they could have done really could have pushed them into taking some really good engagements for themselves.
It's like you said, right? Like they're on the cusp of victory. They're just so close. It's like a little, like 5% more, you know, and they could have won. Like a Zeus Thunder God's Wrath would have cleaned house at multiple points in the game. The Custom Maiden was a decent pick for the Ursa to win the laning phase, but he didn't win that, which was a problem. And PP did okay against Ember Spirit when you expect the Batrider to do a lot more than okay. I think Ben just really had the best performance in the bottom lane, you know, on the Brood Mother. But again, you're also countered by Stinger's Disruptor, which is another issue. So it was pretty good from Ravens. They had a really the valiant showing, good effort, but you need more than good effort to beat down Beast Coast.
Absolutely. Top team for a reason here. Already 3-0 on the Beast Coast team. They've locked themselves in top 1 for a while now, and they're just, you know, one win away again, solidifying themselves at 4-0 with a few 3-1s in the mix right now for the SA DPC. So, again, you need to coast through these teams. If you're looking for the Beast Coast, I know we've been talking for Ravens, kind of punching up, right? Trying to take this. For Beast Coast, this is what you need to do, all right? If you don't stop this team twice in a row, then you have an issue, right? And thankfully for this game, number 1, they did it with what we were saying was probably a slightly favored draft maybe for Ravens, but they executed on Beast Coast so much better the entire time.
I would have gone all in on Beast Coast draft. We're saying Chronosphere, Solar Guardian, as well as the Stack Storm, and a Disruptor against Brood Mother is one of the better matchups. So I was all in on the Beast Coast draft from the beginning. You know, just well played by them, and we'll see if they can do that in Game 2 as well.
Yeah, stick around, guys. We're going to go to a quick break here, and then once we get back, we'll throw it over to the panel so they can analyze game number 1, send us into game 2 of this Ravens versus Beast Coast matchup.